What's one African children's game that you enjoy playing? Yes, mine.
Jingle, 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 jingle.
Hello everyone and welcome to my world of African ideas. I'm so excited that you can spend today with me. I always look forward to your visits. As you know, in my world of African ideas, you get to discover great people, great places, great animals in the vast ecosystem, great foods, but best of all, great ideas to come out of Africa or that are connected with Africa. And today I have another menu of tales to share with you. I have been so eager and anticipating your visit. Are you excited?
Yes, yeah, Coco.
Super! As you know, during every visit, I start with a game. And today I have a special game which you already know planned for you. My question today is, can you tell me an African belief or idea that starts with the letter H? Hut building. H-U-T. So a hut is an object. It's, yes, a building, but an object. And you're correct. This is how Africans built, living spaces in the past. But it's not a belief or idea or concept per se. So, let me bail you out. The African belief and concept I want to share with you today is called Harambe. Harambe. It's a Swahili word spoken by people in Eastern Africa, many of whom live in modern day Kenya. Have you heard of the country Kenya?
Yes.
Yes. So Harambe is a popular belief and concept that was first promoted by the first president of the modern country Kenya. His name was Jomo Kenyatta. And Harambe simply means let's pull together or let's join forces together. It's a belief that talks about cooperation and coming together in unity to cause something called progress, right? He used that principle to mobilize the people of Kenya to work together to advance the Kenyan nation during the time of his presidency. It was a powerful belief system that made every Kenyan rally together for the progress of their nation. Today, many Africans across the continent have adopted the same belief. It's a belief in mutual cooperation. It's a belief that if we come together and connect our resources, connect our strengths, we can bring about great achievement and great progress. It's something that you all in your different spheres of life should also embrace. Principle of cooperation. Do you like that principle?
Yes.
I think it's a great principle because you see, in Harambe, all of us can bring together what each person has. And when you add it up, it becomes so much. And together, those great resources can build great projects, great ambitious tasks can be completed. So every child from Africa needs to embrace the principle of Harambe. Now let's move on to the second part of your visit that I always enjoy. It's the time when I share a story of a great African legend or hero. And today again, I'm going back to Africa's past. And I'm going to share with you the story of an ancient ruler in a kingdom in Africa. This time, it's a woman. Is there an ancient African ruler, female, that you've heard about, but I haven't taught you about or shared her story with you about yet?
No.
Okay. No? All right. So this time around, I'm sharing with you the story of the great Queen Amina of Zazzau, also known as Queen Amina of Zaria. Have you heard of Queen Amina of Zaria before?
Yes.
Oh no, okay. I'm excited to share her story with you. Queen Amina of Zazzau, which is now modern day Zaria. Even then, there was a city called Zaria, right? But today, Zaria still exists and is in the current town of Kaduna in Nigeria, a great country in West Africa, where you all come from, right? But Zazzau at the time was one of the 7 distinct tribes of the Hausa kingdom at the time, and it was the largest and greatest amongst the 7 tribes of the Hausa kingdom. Queen Amina was born in the 16th century, around the middle of the 16th century. Her father was the 22nd king of Zazzau. His name was Nikatao, and her mother was Bakwa Turunku. They were king and queen. Amina had an older brother. Amina was a girl, so obviously her brother would be heir to the kingdom of Zazzau when her parents passed on, right? But Amina's grandfather took a very great interest in his granddaughter. He loved her so much. He took her into his own palace and raised her himself. As a former king himself, he raised her in politics, he gave her military training, and Amina from a very young age became very skillful in horse riding and in the use of the sword and the spear. A young girl showing such skillfulness in horse riding, it was unheard of, and skillfulness in the use of the sword and the spear, it was amazing to see. Her grandfather continued her training, and very soon, Amina was obviously a very promising warrior. Even as a young girl, she rode the fastest in the entire kingdom. She was unrivaled, and when she was on the battlefield in training, her use of the sword and the spear was magnificent to witness. At the age of 16, people began to bring gifts, and admirers began to come to the court to ask for Amina's hand in marriage. They brought many slaves as tributes, 50 female slaves, several male slaves, all to request for Amina's hand in marriage. But Amina refused every suitor, and her grandfather stood behind her and backed her. So Amina did not get married, which was the way of most girls in the kingdom at the time. Age 16 and upward, she remained unmarried. She continued to show keen interest in fighting. Very soon, her parents died, and her brother Karama assumed the throne and became the king of Zazzau. He put Amina to lead his army. Amina became a skillful warrior in her brother's army, fighting courageously, bravely, defeating different armies and different opponents. One day, her brother died. Perhaps he was attacked in a war. Amina thereafter assumed the throne and became Queen Amina of Zazzau. But Amina was not an ordinary queen. She believed in expanding the kingdom. She was not satisfied. Zazzau was too small. Zazzau, she believed, could be greater, could expand its territories. The military was strong. They could conquer other enemies, conquer other warriors and other armies, and gain and conquer new lands and territories. She also expanded the trade routes, providing protection to different traders, and soon traders began to enter into treaties and agreements with Amina. For protection, they would give her different tributes out of their profits, and Amina's wealth began to gradually increase. For 34 years, Amina ruled on the throne of Zazzau, expanding the kingdom of Zazzau. All the territories to the north, the east, the south, and the west, Amina conquered the armies and expanded. Soon, she had conquered Kano, she had conquered Katsina, she had conquered Bauchi, she had conquered Sokoto, she had conquered Niger. She extended even beyond and moved all the way to the Middle Belt, to Benue, to Jos. Amina continued to expand. She was an unrivaled ruler. She was a woman who was fierce on the battlefield. And soon, Amina began to build walls to demarcate every territory that she had conquered. Till today, in modern day Zaria, if you visit, you can still see some of the remnants of the walls that Queen Amina built centuries ago. Remember, this was all the way in the 16th century. The walls are called the walls of Amina in Hausa. The walls of Amina, they are still standing today. For 34 years, Amina remained an undefeated ruler of the kingdom of Zazzau, which soon had expanded to become a full empire. And kings and lords and regional leaders came to pay homage to the great Queen Amina of Zazzau. Unfortunately, one year, Amina was defeated in war in what is modern day Kogi state. I believe she came in contact with the Igala warriors. It's debated in history. Some say she died in Jos. Some say no, she died by the wall of Ada in modern-day Kogi. But mind you, for 34 years, this queen, this woman, rode on a horse with her spear and her sword, conquering vast armies, expanding her territories, building wealth through trade and protection of trade routes. She is in the history books, whether in oral and written tradition, one of the greatest rulers to ever come out of Africa. She remains an example to every African child that you can defy stereotypes. Amina rode on horseback, a skillful horse rider, showing girls that they too can dare to shatter ceilings. They can be engineers, they can be great scientists and inventors, they can be great military strategists, they can be great leaders too. That is the legacy of Queen Amina of Zazzau, and I don't want you to ever forget about her life. Did you enjoy the story of Amina?
Yes.
What did you like about her story? Let's start with you.
What I liked about her is that although she was like, although our city was small,
Yes.
she made it expand beyond its limitations.
I love that. I love that. So she was not a complacent leader and she wasn't satisfied. She was very ambitious. Ambition is good when guided with the right principles. She believed that the state of Zazzau could be a leading state, an example for others to follow. She believed that with the strength of her military and with the wealth and resources that they had, they could define the entire territory. They could have other kingdoms come under them and be ruled by them and governed by them to also advance themselves. That was the principle that governed her expansion. And that's how Amina built that whole empire that once before were fragmented states and fragmented kingdoms. It is a great story indeed. Do you want to share your own lesson? I can only take one more, but you'll talk in the next segment.
So I think I also want to give credit to her grandfather, because her grandfather, I noticed that I think he was very present in her life, and he also knew that he had to help her become the greatest she could ever be.
I really love that. It's very powerful because remember, there were predominant cultures and traditions of that time. And in those cultures and traditions, women typically didn't get involved in politics or in military activities. But her grandfather saw her potential early. First of all, he exposed her to that training. And when he discovered that she had such great potential, unique potential, he encouraged it. He invested in more training for her. And that's the reason why she became the kind of skillful, very capable leader that she eventually grew to be. So that's a great point. As parents, and as adults and elders, we have a responsibility to nurture the potential of young people and never to limit their potential on the basis of stereotypes or cultural limitations and attitudes. So that's a great point.
Thank you for playing my favorite African game with me. Now let's find the other items in the game. What is a place or location in Africa that starts with the letter H? Horn of Africa. The Horn of Africa, also known as the Somali Peninsula, is a unique region in East Africa that stretches out into the ocean like the horn of a rhinoceros on a map. It is made up of 4 neighboring countries: Somalia, Ethiopia, Eritrea, and Djibouti, all of which lie close to the Indian Ocean. Along its coastline are beautiful beaches and rich marine life, while inland, the land shifts into dramatic mountains, vast deserts, and fertile valleys. It is a region alive with diverse cultures, languages, animals, and communities, each adding to its rich and varied character. I would love to visit a part of the Horn of Africa. Would you come with me?
Now let's move on to another favorite session or aspect of your visit. Yes.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead, please.
My question is that you said that there are some cities that fall under
Hausa Kingdom in the ancient
Hausa
period. Yes.
Kingdom. So I don't understand how Amina conquered the other Hausa cities?
Yes.
Because aren't they supposed to be like allies?
It's a very lovely question. So in those periods, even though these kingdoms shared common things like languages and maybe religions, right? They had separate rulers. They were ruled separately by their own different kings and chiefs and lords, right? So there were 7 that made up that entire territory called the Hausa land because they all spoke similar language. But they were not controlled by a central ruler. Under Amina's conquest, however, she conquered and dominated most of those lands and became the central ruler and queen over what was once those fragmented regions or sub-kingdoms. It's a very powerful question that you've asked. And it talks about how many ancient African kingdoms were very early to create what we call confederacies. In the earlier story I once shared with you about Mansa Musa, also in the story I shared with you about Shaka Zulu, and also in the story I shared with you about Ya Asantewa, where the Osei Tutu brought together the fragmented parts of the Akan, the fragmented clans in the Akan kingdom and brought them under one central authority. All these stories exemplify that African leaders understood the principle of Harambe. Let's come together. In unity we are stronger. And when we come together, we can defeat common enemies. And when they created those unions, they created central governing systems where there were hierarchies, where certain chiefs existed, and on top of them was a central ruling authority. The Ashantis called it the Osei Tutu, which means paramount king. The Malians called it the Mansa Musa, which is king of kings. Right? They came up with different names, but all those titles depicted that in that kingdom was a merger of sub-kingdoms who are ceded to the central ruling authority of a paramount ruler. Africans had advanced governing systems too. And that's another example that the question you've asked, Olamo, brings out for us. Now let me move on to a powerful proverb from the people of Kenya. And it says, even the lion, the king of the forest, protects himself against flies. What does that proverb mean to you? Yes, Jamiloju?
It means that anything big or small can happen to you, even though it looks small on the outside.
Outside, okay, that's a good perspective. Yes.
My own perspective of the program is saying that even if a king or somebody in power has many people to like protect him, himself, he will even protect himself.
Okay, thank you for that perspective. And finally,
I think that it says that even, no matter how big you are, you might still, no matter how big and large you are and how powerful you think you are, small problems could really, really bother you.
wow, all of you are very brilliant, and those perspectives are great because you're correct. It's talking about never, underestimating the power of small distractions and small problems. No matter how much you accomplish or how, impressive you are and, very powerful you are in the world, small distractions could be the reason for your ruin. If you don't learn to manage small distractions, use the time, things that steal your time, things that steal your attention, things that creep into your day, you don't schedule your day properly with discipline, those small cracks, those small distractions could lead to the destruction of even the greatest people. So we must always watch out. As we advance in life, we're going to get more and more accomplished, right? Watch out for our small weaknesses and small distractions, okay? Watch out for people that come into your life enticing you to go for one, to go for one unimportant party, one unimportant, spending spree, to watch things that are, stealing your time away from proper planning and strategizing for the growth of your business or for the, leadership of your organization. All these small thieves of time could lead to our what? our destruction. And so even the great lion is also subject to what? The effect of the flies. We too must always be conscious of these little distractions in our lives. I think it's a very powerful proverb by the people of Kenya.
Next, what is an animal found in Africa that starts with the letter H? Hippopotamus. A hippopotamus, or hippo, is a very big, heavy African animal that loves water. It has a round, barrel-shaped body, short legs, a short tail, and a very big head with large teeth. Its skin is grayish-brown and it can look muddy because they often spend time in rivers and lakes to keep cool. Underneath its skin, however, a hippo looks a soft pink color. Hippos live in many parts of Africa, especially near rivers and wetlands, such as in countries like Kenya and Uganda. Even though they look slow and calm in water, hippos are very strong and can run fast on land when they need to. They are also one of the largest animals on land, except elephants are bigger. Have you seen a hippo before?
Now we've come to the last part of your visit, and I have for you the story, an example of a great role model. Somebody whose life is exemplary and sets standards that all African children can also follow. Her name is Wangari Maathai. Wangari Maathai is a Kenyan activist and environmentalist of blessed memory now. She passed away several years ago. But before her death, she was one of the first Africans, first Black African and the first African woman to win a Nobel Peace Prize. Yes, and guess what she won that prize for? For her contribution to the conservation of the environment. Like I said, Wangari Maathai was an environmentalist and the founder of what is known as the Green Belt Movement. Do you know that in her lifetime and beyond, the Green Belt Movement has planted 51 million trees in Africa? Not 51,000, 51 million trees. Wangari Maathai is the first woman to get a PhD across Eastern and Central Africa. She was a great scholar and academic, and she understood the value and importance of the environment and the earth's natural resources. And she detected from a very early age that the way in which we are managing the earth's resources and cutting down trees, we are destroying the natural environment and we are affecting climate, and all these climate changes are causing hazardous effects on African livelihoods, droughts, erosion, and all kinds of natural disasters emerging because of our failure to respect and conserve nature's treasures, trees, special species of plants. And so she set about in her life on a mission of planting trees. She also understood the importance of the environment on political lives, because when the earth is destroyed, livelihoods are destroyed, people begin to enter into conflict with each other. Farmers and herders clash because they begin to encroach on each other's lands and territories. And all these things cause political tensions and cause conflicts and wars. So she began to advocate strongly against the abuse of the environment. Apart from planting trees, she was very vocal for environmental rights. She was very vocal in political issues. She fought for the right of women to occupy positions of power in Kenya. She was a strong women's rights advocate, insisting that women too are capable of being great leaders, and women bring a perspective that respects the environment, because women use the earth's natural resources at home and they are very respectful of the earth's natural resources. Wangari Maathai is a great role model. By the time of her death, the world had recognized her contribution by awarding her the Nobel Peace Prize, one of the greatest, most distinguished prizes in contemporary times in the world today. She's an example of fierce courage, of respect for the natural environment, of respect for the human rights of every individual, of every community, and the respect for the dignity of the African life. I think that Wangari Maathai is a powerful role model for African children all over the world, and I'm so excited to share her story and her life with you. You have any questions for me?
No.
Do you like anything about Wangari? Yes.
What I like about her is that she cares about nature. Like, she likes to save trees, animals, like from extinction.
Yes, very true. Because when you protect trees, you're protecting biodiversity. You're protecting not only trees, trees are habitats, trees make up forests. And in forests, we have an amazing, vast array of plants, of animal species that coexist and ensure that nature's harmony and balance is preserved. They prevent natural disasters from occurring. They prevent, droughts as we know it, and all kinds of things from happening. So that's the life, and that's why it's very important that she took on a mission to plant trees when other people want to simply pull down trees for commercial profits. Yes, Jamiluju.
What I like about her is because she was brave enough to stop people from cutting down trees.
You're very correct, because as a strong advocate for the environment, she came under severe attacks. You remember, there are a lot of people who make a living from cutting down trees, whether it's for construction, for all kinds of manufacturing, and they want to cut it down without replacing it. So by preventing them, she was affecting their bottom line pockets. And so they attempted to kill her, they tried to assassinate her. There were many attempts on her life. So it was not a job that she took on that was easy. It was at great personal sacrifice and at great personal cost, right? Also in this forest, there are many poachers, people coming to poach animals. She fought for the conservation of these animals. Rare animals almost going into extinction, like you said, Dolamu. And so these unscrupulous elements tried many times to get rid of her. But Wangari Maathai survived all these attempts. After many years of suffering, she suffered a lot for her life's values, but she was courageous, and she was steadfast, and she was committed. And that's why she is a role model for African children all over the world.
Finally, what is an object common in Africa that starts with the letter H? A hut. A hut is a cozy round building used for homes and dwellings, made from natural elements like mud, clay, and grass. It keeps the occupants cool in the sun and dry in the rain, providing a corner to sleep and also a place for families to cook their food. Serving as homes in traditional African societies, huts keep members safe and connected to their community. Though the materials and designs differ from community to community, huts are durable and safe for the environment. They can still be found in many villages across Africa today. Have you ever stepped inside a hut?
We've come to the end of your visit. I truly enjoyed my time with you. I loved your questions. You're very smart. Thank you for making time to always visit me. I hope these stories impact you. Keep coming to the world of African ideas. I have many more things in store for you. Until the next time, have a good time. Bye.
Thank you, Yakoko.